new tricks, what about new ramps? Because I remember talking to you just before, maybe it was just after Nitro World Games with the Moon Booter. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure you told me at the time you were not interested in that ramp at all. And then I think you got like a speed check from someone, and is it third gear to hit that ramp? I can't remember.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know,
can
but
tell you.
either way,
I'll give you a quick update on the whole story. When we first went to use it, I didn't want anything to do with it just because it looked insane, and we were
yeah.
jumping it in the gear that you'd assume you'd jump it in, second gear. We did a day riding it where we just kept pulling it back. We started super small. We had the airbag lander and everything, and we
Yeah.
were jumping it in second, and it was fine. Like jumping it in second was good. We got it back to whatever they wanted the max distance to be, which was I think almost 35 feet, which is
What?
second gear.
Almost
Yeah,
35 feet.
it's second gear just completely wide open on
Wow.
a 250 at sea level. And
That's
then
crazy.
yeah, when we had it up short, I flipped it twice. I think I flipped it up to like 20 feet or something like that, which is nothing, but you're still going pretty high on that ramp at 20 feet.
Yeah.
And then we pulled it back another couple feet to where you had to start getting in the power a little bit. And the thing flipped so fast all of a sudden because I think I got lucky the first two times I flipped it, and I kind of almost chopped the throttle at the right time to where the
Really?
flip was normal. So then the next time I had to really give it some gas to clear the gap. So I didn't chop the throttle, and dude, that thing just went and like it flipped so fast off the ramp. I was donezo. So I bail, and like
No
it
way.
hurt. And then we had the flat airbag after that the next 2 days or the next
Yeah.
day. And I tried to figure out flipping in second gear, and I just could not, man, I could not flip slow enough. So kept trying, started getting a couple where I could flip slow enough. And it was super hard to control. And then all of a sudden I over rotated one and I bailed and broke my wrist on a freaking
Oh,
airbag. Yeah. So
whoa.
wasn't
Okay.
stoked on the ramp, but then for the next Nitro tour, flew out early, stayed at Steve Minnie's, and I rode it every single day. And
Huh.
Harry Bink and the guys they started jumping it in third because they're like, dude, your bike's just it's lugging a little bit, so it's like it doesn't rip out from underneath you. So I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shit, I'll give it a try.
Makes
Fly
sense.
out there, stay at Minnie's, and it was like the first time I flipped it, I'm like, oh man, I can do this. Like this is the difference I needed. So
Yeah.
started flipping it, still wasn't pumped on it. Then they started putting it in tours, wasn't pumped on it. We didn't really get a whole lot of time to ride on it, though, was the thing. Like it would just, there would be no practice days for this completely different ramp. And then all of a sudden showtime would come and it would just get set up and you just had to
Just gotta
send it.
go.
So it was a comfort level. I wasn't there yet. And as time went on and they set up more practice days for us and we got to ride it some more. And then mostly like this last Nitro games that I did, we had so much time on it. We had so many days and I'd ride it all day. And then I was like, man, it's still tricky because if you do give it a yank, you're going to land on your back. But if you kind of get it figured out, it's actually really fun. So
That's cool.
you have so much time. And I think because the rotation's so slow and you don't really have to pull that hard, you kind of stay with your bike more than,
Yeah.
a 75-foot flip combo where you're kind of, your body naturally wants to keep floating away from it. You kind of like stay with the bike. So once I figured all this stuff out, it's like, dude, this ramp is actually freaking awesome. Yes, still very scary, but awesome. So yeah, I probably would have told you to F off the first time you asked me to put it in a show, but now I'm down.
So that's what I'm thinking here. Like I'm always thinking about the future of freestyle, and it's had that huge wave up, and we're on a pretty big one down where no
Yeah.
one really knows where it's going to go, how it's going to go. Is new ramps for you? Like, is that something? Because you sound excited right now talking about it. Like, even if you're just doing the same tricks off of a new ramp, is that okay? Or would you think then we've got new ramps, I can do something else? I don't know. Like,
Yeah, it definitely opens up some possibilities. The only bummer about it is it's such a big ramp that it also, consequences for mistakes also get ramped up a little bit too.
yeah,
So But I mean, if you look at world games and stuff like that, all right, guys are definitely doing new tricks on it for sure. And even a guy like me who doesn't want to do any new tricks, like I can do my other tricks better on that ramp than I can do on any other ramp. So if nothing else, it does provide a different thing to fans to see, like, oh my, instead of seeing the same dead body flip you've seen
Yeah.
1,000 times, now you're seeing that's the biggest one I've ever seen, which
is cool.
That's how you get fans, right? But honestly, more than
Exactly.
new ramps, I just think we need to do, I said it earlier, I think courses need to come back, even if it's not anything that insane, just something visually appealing and different, I think is what could provide some sort of resurgence to the sport. But is that ever going to happen? Are we ever going to have the space? Anybody willing to put the funding in? I don't know.
They're the big questions. They're the big ones. That's what